Hello! Today we are going to recap 10 more characters from the Gathering Stone. And if you missed the first edition, you can watch it here. The aim is to give you a short, easy to understand explanation for each adventurer and their story that has already been told. Introducing you to what we do here and catching you up on everything that's happened so far in a concise manner. So hopefully you enjoy and come back for all the new characters and tales that have yet to be told. Now, let's get on with it. As an FYI, there will be links in the description below to the full stories if you feel so enticed to give them a listen. Now, we're going to kick things off with Satash, a loner alchemist that prefers to lock himself in an abandoned lighthouse, mixing ingredients and experimenting. He believes eggs, yes, eggs, hold magical powers, and uses them as a secret ingredient for all his potions. On a trip to the local village for restocking purposes, he overhears a couple of old women gossiping about a place called the Gathering Stone, wherein special pink chickens reside. Wanting to know more about these fowls and their eggs, Satash sets out in search of this mystical place. Here we have Magic Mark, an entrepreneur who can't do magic. But he is the first and only person to be banished from the Gathering Stone for defacing the very same rock. Just felt a cold wind blow through. And no wonder, as our next lost traveler is Penelope, a dwarven lass from the frozen north who set out one night to hunt a local legend known as the Eyeless Hag. With the stout determination of her people, she nearly accomplished her task, before the wicked crone performed a spell and sent Penelope to our humble little plot of grass. Now, from that frigid preservation to the frying pan, Dorian is a fire druid, born on the night of a blood moon and the survivor of a vicious hobgoblin attack. He sadly only remembers the first 2 weeks of his life. We've been trying to help jog his memory ever since his arrival. Beignet here is a knight of Tortouse. However, at his heart, Beignet is an artist, and often spends his patrolling duty catching bugs for studious purposes. On one particular night, he has a run-in with a deity who doesn't appreciate Beignet's moonlighting habits, or his derelict of duty. So without question, the deity magics him away to the Gathering Stone. Ah, now this is Isron, a rather unique case, as she might have had a hand, quite literally, in the creation of the Gathering Stone as we know it today. Living out a self-imposed penance, she had a vision that upon awakening set her on a course for our destination. But her story has not been fully told. Yet. Moving on, we have Mouse, a gnome barbarian that decides to help his fellow neighbors instead of fighting monsters for a day. He has a run-in with a strange man living in the sewers that sets him on an even stranger quest, and ultimately decides his life was easier when he was just fighting monsters. Speaking of monsters, our next 2 adventurers, Moose and Arya, had an epic yet sad tale to share with us. A married couple that worked and played together. They ran into a bit of trouble on one particular job that left Arya in a cursed state, turning her into a twisted monstrosity whose only want was to feed and hurt. Moose was heartbroken, but in the end formed a party to deal with his lost love. Now, without giving too much away, he did handle the sad situation, but for better or worse, we have never seen or heard from either one of them since. Finally, to round everything out, we have Namu, an old veteran of the Gathering Stone who encountered a rather evil sort of being while investigating a ghost town that was supposedly attacked by a dragon. The two have an exchange of words, and come to find out this creature not only knows of the chickens, but is also actively seeking the Gathering Stone for possibly some sort of nefarious reason. But before anything too tragic can happen, Namu is whisked away back to the stone by an unknown magical force. Perhaps, he thinks, by the very chickens themselves. Alrighty folks, that's the remaining 10 lost travelers all wrapped up for you. Like I said earlier, if you missed the first episode, you can find it here. I can't believe we've already shared 20 different stories. And there's still so many more to tell. With the next one coming straight from our little trio that left us not too long ago, as Minnow, Scrundle, and Alana had quite the high seas adventure. So be sure to come back to hear all about it. Oh, and let us know in the comments if you're enjoying everything so far and what you want to hear more of. Farewell for now.